Relevant. Now the feud between Obama and Hillary continues. This is on the campaign trail in New Hampshire. Obama said this about Senator Hillary Clinton.
I don't want a continuation of Bush-Cheney. I don't want Bush-Cheney light. I want a fundamental change. It's time to turn the page on how we do business and say to the world, we are ready to lead. We are ready to lead by deed and example.
Oh, man, is this stirring it up. He just called Hillary Bush and Cheney. Bush-Cheney light. Here's more.
If we want fundamental change, then we can't be afraid to talk to our enemies. We can't be afraid to... I'm not afraid of losing the PR war to dictators. I'm happy to look them in the eye and say what needs to be said. I'm happy to tell them what I think. I'm not going to avoid them. I'm not going to hide behind a bunch of rhetoric.
All right, this is what it's all about. Hillary said that this approach that he advocated in a YouTube debate was naive. And Obama saying, oh, yeah, it's not naive at all. It makes more sense than you getting Bush the authorization to go to war, blah, blah, blah. So Hillary takes to the CNN airwaves. John King spoke to her yesterday about Obama's criticisms, and here's her response.
This is getting kind of silly. You know, I've been called a lot of things in my life, but I've never been called George Bush or Dick Cheney, certainly. You know, you have to ask, what's ever happened to the politics of hope?
No attack ever fed a hungry child. That's what you need to start saying, Hillary. That's what Bill said to Bob Dole in the 1996 debate. No attack ever fed a hungry child. Now, Hillary, speaking with John King about Obama's criticisms, continued with this.
I have been saying consistently for a number of years now, we have to end the Bush era of ignoring problems, ignoring enemies and adversaries.
Stop, and stop. Let me re-cue that, Ed. I'm sorry, folks. I'm awash in incredulity here. They are complaining about Bush not leaving our enemies alone. They're the ones that want to ignore things. They're the ones that want to pull out. They're the ones that want to pretend there's no war on terror, just a bumper sticker slogan. They're the ones that say the world is not great danger here, and we're certainly no nation in great risk in this. Ignoring enemies and adversaries? I mean, we can't even call them enemies. We can't even call them enemy. We can't call them the enemy. If you work at Reuters, you can't even call them terrorists. Okay, here's the whole bite from the top.
I have been saying consistently for a number of years now, we have to end the Bush era of ignoring problems, ignoring enemies and adversaries. And I have been absolutely clear that we've got to return to robust and effective diplomacy. But I don't want to see the power and prestige of the United States president put at risk by rushing into meetings with the likes of Chavez and Castro and Ahmadinejad.
This is the smartest woman in the world. So she would do exactly what Bush is doing. She would ignore Ahmadinejad. In fact, we have diplomatic talks going on with Ahmadinejad. It's a waste of time. Castro? Chavez? Bush is ignoring all of these people. This is what she would say she would. You don't, for the very same reason. You don't elevate these people's status in the world by acting like you care. You don't grant them equal status. The dictator of Cuba, the dictator of Venezuela, the dictator of Iran are not, I'm sorry, on the same field as the president of the United States. They would love to be. And all it would take for them to get there is for an idiot president to start having them in town, having state dinners, go wherever they are and talk to them and find out what's on their mind and how we can help them and so forth. And you immediately elevate them. But I don't know who she means. If we're ignoring enemies and adversaries, Chavez, Castro, Ahmadinejad, well, we're not even ignoring Ahmadinejad. By the way, speaking of Cuba, the interim president there, Raul Castro, announced Thursday that the government of Cuba will seek to open the country to more foreign investment, the clearest indication yet of his plans for ruling this robust island nation. Raul Castro said that his government is studying ways of increasing foreign investment. without repeating the mistakes of the past, a reference to the often heard complaint that U.S. and other foreign countries dominated Cuba before their 1959 resolution. Look at the best way to translate this. And this is a San Francisco Chronicle story. Raul Castro reaching out to capitalists for help. That's the way to translate this. Meanwhile, we have Democrat candidates who want to take us in the direction of Cuba.